Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment NFL Week 8 picks and predictions last week. I went 10-4 straight up, but I went 2-4 for my guarantees. Ouch! So we are once again under 500 for my guarantees. I don't know why I've been struggling with the lines the last couple of weeks. This week is also going to be a little difficult because, man, there's a lot of unpredictable matchups in my opinion this week, but that is no excuse. All right, we are an expert, okay, maybe not, in some people's eyes, but in my eyes, certainly straight up, and we have to bounce back, and we will bounce back here in NFL Week 8, but we're definitely going to continue our magic straight up. I'm currently tied for 4th in the SFE Pickup Challenge, and I'd be first, by the way, if I didn't accidentally change some picks that I know I definitely should have done, and I missed the first game of the season. I'd actually be tied for first, if not completely in first right now. But that's no excuse on coming for first anyway. So let's go ahead and get to NFL Week 8, and let's go ahead and begin with the first game, the game that's actually going on right now. But trust me, I did not change my pick. It's going on in the first quarter right now. The Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers have been struggling a little bit lately. The Falcons have been struggling the entire season. So this is an NFC South battle between two teams that desperately need this game. But the Panthers have definitely been the better team all season. The Falcons have all their defensive issues. And oh my God, Todd Gurley. Did you see him last week? And the NFL, films mic'd up came out too. Matt Ryan specifically told Todd Gurley to fall before getting into the end zone. And Todd Gurley still fell into the end zone. Give me the Carolina Panthers to win this game because ultimately they're not the dopes that the Falcons are when it comes to choking football games. We move on to the next game. We have the Tennessee Titans at the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Titans definitely had a disappointing week last week in their loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They now travel to face an AFC North opponent once again here in the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals, although I did say in my Titans versus Steelers recap, I'm not really afraid about the Cincinnati Bengals. They are dangerous offensively this year. Now, they don't win many games. There's a reason why they're 1-5-1, but they're able to score points, and Joe Burrow is one of the top 5, passing leaders. I think he's number 2 right now in terms of passing yards in the entire league as a rookie. So how about that? So definitely don't sleep on the Bengals here. They will score their points, but ultimately, the Tennessee Titans have had the ability all season except for last week to finish games late. And I expect them to do the same thing here against the Cincinnati Bengals football team that doesn't know how to win games right now, that is still learning how to win games. We move on to the next one. We have the New York Jets at the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Jets, man, continue to be historically awful. And yet, Adam Gase still has a job. Okay, this is incredible. In a pandemic, in the COVID-19 pandemic where everyone and their mama is having problems with employment. Everyone's unemployed. So many people are unemployed. Everything we blame due to the pandemic. Adam Gase still has a job. There are so many people out there that are deserving of jobs and don't have them. Adam Gase has his job. How about that for America? Give me the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game here to absolutely thaw the New York Jets as they continue to descend worse and worse into, one of the worst seasons I've ever seen in my life. It is that bad right now with the New York Jets. We move on to the next one. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. And this is a matchup of premier AFC teams, the last undefeated team in the NFL. It should have been the Titans. And the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Baltimore in the great Steelers-Ravens rivalry. It is back, right? Last year, we weren't really looking forward to those matchups. I think one had Mason Rudolph, and I'm pretty sure the last one, it was the last game of the season. That was Robert Griffin III and company. Okay, so who cared about that one? Now we're back to great Steelers-Ravens football. So in this one, I'm actually going to go with the upset. I'm going to have the Steelers getting it done here. Reason being, the Ravens in the biggest of matchups, especially when they face good defenses, Lamar Jackson tends to struggle a little bit. And if there's any defense right now that has the edge rushers to contain Lamar Jackson, to pressure Lamar Jackson, to give him problems, while also having good corners to cover the 2 wide receivers the Ravens have. And even, the linebackers aren't great at covering the tight end, but to do enough there, it's the Steelers. And the Ravens defense, I'm really intrigued to see how it improves with the addition of Yannick Ngakoue, but it's going to take him some time to really make an impact, So for this game, give me the Steelers. Now, I think when the Ravens really get going, because I don't think they're really going right now. I don't think they're playing to the full potential right now. I think later on in the season, they can return the favor, and they probably will return the favor. But right now, I just like the Steelers in their form better than the Ravens in their form. So give me the Steelers in an upset in this one. Moving on to the next one, the Los Angeles Rams at the Miami Dolphins. People, I got another upset for you. I got the Miami Dolphins winning this one. Now, the Rams, they continue to be very well coached by Sean McVay. Their defense continues to be a strong unit right now. Aaron Donald is, oh my God, this guy's continuing to play great. I mean, is this guy not going to go down as the best offensive player we've ever seen? I mean, honestly, that's where we're headed right now. I mean, I'm not even afraid to say it right. He's so consistent. The production is insane every single year. I think he's the best offensive player I've ever seen. I'm sorry. I mean, he's headed there. I'm not going to give him that entirely yet, but that's where he's headed, dog. That's where he's headed right now. This man is incredible. But Tua Tagovailoa is making his debut. The Dolphins have won their last 3 games, one of which was a blowout of the San Francisco 49ers, who, guess what, have looked pretty good against other teams. The 49ers look, I think, just as good as the Rams overall. If the Dolphins could blow out the 49ers, I think they can beat the Rams in Miami in Tua's first game, where the Dolphins are very motivated off of a bye week. So give me the Dolphins to win here in Tua Tagovailoa's rookie debut. We move on to the next one. We have the Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers. The Vikings continue to struggle. Now they're talking about trading people away. They already traded Yannick Ngakoue away. So they're kind of just taking the season. They're kind of throwing in the towel. And the Packers are coming off a very dominant victory in Houston. So an obvious one here, despite how great the Vikings-Packers rivalry normally is. I think for once it will actually not be much of a contest. Give me the Packers to win this game in Green Bay. Moving on to the next one, we have the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. And the Patriots looked god-awful last week. My goodness, Cam Newton was struggling. One of the worst performances we've ever seen. And really started to justify people saying that, yeah, he deserved to not even be a quarterback. And he's now holding on to that job because he got benched last week. If he struggles in this one, maybe they do move to Jarrett Stidham. Because I think on the season, he has 2 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Is that his stat line right now? I mean, that's pretty damn bad. Okay, so he's in trouble right now and deservedly so. Now, my Josh Allen, okay, this is my quarterback, my fantasy quarterback in multiple leagues. This guy has not been playing well, nearly as well as he was in the beginning of the season. He's going to have to bounce back. I'm not sure if it's going to be this game, but I'm getting frustrated with my Josh Allen right now. Give me the Bills and Josh Allen to run around just enough. But, you know, the Bills and Josh Allen, they got to figure some stuff out. I think they're going to be, 6-2 after this win, but they have some stuff to figure out offensively right now. Moving on to the next game, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Cleveland Browns. And people, this is upset week to me. I got the Las Vegas Raiders going to Cleveland getting it done. The Browns just lost Odell Beckham Jr. Yes, they were able to score points despite the injury to Odell last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. Those were the Cincinnati Bengals. Jarvis Landry and Baker, for some reason, their chemistry just has not been on point. Jarvis Landry was headed for, 1,000-yard-ish season. Now he's probably going to get more because of the injury to Odell. Rashard Higgins has better chemistry with Baker Mayfield overall. So I think you're going to start to see some offensive chemistry issues, and the Raiders are a little desperate right now. They got their ass kicked last week. I think they lost the week before that as well. They're kind of holding on for dear life, and I'm not sure if they won actually lost 2 games in a row, but I definitely know they lost 2 of their last 3. So they're definitely feeling desperate right now. They need to win, and I think they're going to show up and win this one, run the ball enough on the Browns, and get the victory here. Now, if these 2 teams were to face in the playoffs or in later on in the season when the Browns are fully healthy, I'd take the Browns. But for this matchup right now, look at how these teams are health-wise and everything, momentum. Give me the Raiders to win this game. Moving on to the next one, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Detroit Lions, and the Lions got it done. Matthew Stafford, got to give him credit. He's the only thing keeping this team afloat. It's literally a Ryan Tannehill situation. And maybe even better. I mean, I don't want to say that Stafford's better than Tannehill, but I tell you this, I think Stafford is more dependent, or that the Lions are more dependent on Stafford than the Dolphins were on Tannehill. And I'm telling you, if Stafford ever leaves, and, I hope for his sake he ever does, you will see a Ryan Tannehill-like ascension from Matthew Stafford, and I believe that. I really, really, really do. He is the only thing keeping that franchise. They'd be 0-6. They'd be awful. They'd be terrible. This Detroit Lions. I don't think they're going to be good enough to win this game. Now, Phillip Rivers might throw them the game. But the Lions defense still stinks. Jeffrey Okuda's still been struggling. The Colts defense is markedly better. And their offense is good enough to score points on the Lions defense. So give me the Colts to win this game here. Moving on to the next one, we have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Justin Herbert got was that his first win last week? I want to say, yeah, his first win of the season, actually starting a game. And it hasn't been his fault because God knows his team blew the lead against the Saints. His team, allowed so many points in some of these matchups. I have not blamed him at all. So now he can get going in terms of the win column, get some more wins here, and a great opportunity facing the Broncos, who did nothing against the Chiefs last week. I mean, they were so awful. Drew Lock in and out, injured in and out, in and out, in and out. What's going on with the Broncos? I don't know. I really don't care. Give me the Chargers to win this game in Denver. Next game, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. Well, finally, Bears fans, I was right. In how many weeks consecutively I chose the Bears to lose, and they finally lost again this season last week. Well, I'm going to surprise some of you. Give me the Chicago Bears to win this game. Here's why. So they were able to go to Carolina, a team that had been playing just as well as the Saints this season, and beat them 23-16. They're also able to beat the Bucs in Chicago 20-19. Now the Bucs had some injuries, wide receiver core wasn't fully healthy, but they're able to beat the Bucs on a Thursday night game, albeit, but they were able to beat the Bucs, who are certainly better than New Orleans Saints to me. I know the Saints, blew them out week 1, but they're certainly playing better now. You can agree on that. I think the Bears, I don't know what happened Monday night. I mean, their offense is, fraudulent. But I think the defense is going to do enough because stopping the Saints isn't that difficult to me now. Michael Thomas is coming back. But, are they able to get some coverage linebackers on Alvin Kamara for this game? Yes. Are they able to have, one or two cornerbacks and safeties dedicated to slowing down Michael Thomas? Yes. And is Drew Brees going to, use his other weapons like a little Jared Cook, maybe a little Emmanuel Sanders if he's back? We're not sure if he's going to be back. I just think they're going to be able to do enough, just as they did against the Bucs, to slow them down and then score enough points to win. Marcus Lattimore is not playing that well for the Saints right now. Some other players defensively aren't showing up. I think the Bears do just enough to win this game in Chicago. That's what I believe. Let's see what happens when I actually pick the Bears for once. Maybe they'll win or maybe they'll lose. We'll see. All right, moving on to the next game. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks in NFC West fashion. Difficult one, as the 49ers have been playing better lately. They look like more of the 49ers of old, more of it. They already have 3 losses on the season. I think they had 3 losses all of last season, but, looking more and more like the 49ers. However, now this Jeff Hasty, who is going to be starting at running back. Now, it doesn't really matter because Kyle Shanahan can trot out me at running back and I'd rush for 80 to 100 yards. I mean, he can use anyone under the sun. I mean, this is Kyle Shanahan. It's incredible how they lost that Super Bowl despite this fact. I don't know why they couldn't run the ball. But, yes. So, they're still going to put up points in this game, but Seattle will be desperate. Russell Wilson, after a bad display last week against the Arizona Cardinals on that Sunday Night Football game, is going to want to get this game done, and they cannot afford to lose 2 NFC West battles back-to-back in this division where every team is a winning team, and losing this game would then put them maybe even last in the NFC West or tied for it, depending on if the Rams win. So they can't afford that. They got to win this game, and I think that they do. And I don't think they'd be last, actually, because that was their first loss of the season. Okay, so they wouldn't be last, but they would essentially be second. Yeah, they'd be at least second, and now the 49ers would be coming up against them. So that'd be problematic. They don't want to be there, and that would be with an 0-2 divisional record, because I'm pretty sure they haven't faced the Rams yet. So give me the Seahawks to win this game. No Chris Carson, which is scary, but Carlos Hyde should be able to do enough. Okay, moving on to the next game, the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Bah. I don't know why they had to keep this game on the schedule. I mean, I can't even believe the depths of hell that the Cowboys team has fallen to. I mean, they are incredibly bad. Shockingly bad. I mean, they look like they're going to lose out. Losing 25-3 to the football team in Washington. And now, Ben DiNucci, okay, who? This guy is starting at quarterback, my goodness. So we're going to see how this guy does, but man, the Eagles, hey, they should continue to do enough to scrape a win there. They get the 6 wins to win the division this year, because that's all it will take. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not even sure if there's going to be a 4-win team. Okay, there's going to be 1 6-win team in the Eagles. Maybe 7, maybe, but I think 6. And then I don't think the Giants, the Redskins, or the Cowboys are going to hit 5 wins. It's going to be 4-win, 3-win, because they're going to beat each other in the damn division. They have no choice. And then the Eagles have 6. That's the NFCs for you in 2020. How ridiculous. They're lucky they're able to beat each other. So at the very least, some of these teams are going to go 3-3 in the division. Boom, those are the 3 wins they got on the season. And that will be the Washington football team, most likely. Maybe they'll get 4. But, it's just incredible. NFC East, give me the Eagles. All right, and we move on from that to the Monday Night Football game. Speaking of the NFC East, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New York Giants. Okay, Bucs. Why are we wasting our time? The NFC East stinks. Come on. Let's just move on. Let's move on to my guarantees of the week. Man, that division has me so triggered right now. And we have to do better this week, and let's begin with the Packers minus 6.5. Again, I know the Vikings-Packers, they have a rivalry. It's a divisional game. It should be close. No. The Vikings, they're just throwing in the towel. Now, I know Dalvin Cook will be back, and that's going to help the Vikings offense. I don't care. And J.R. Alexander is going to slow down Adam Thielen, and the other company should slow down Justin Jefferson, and that's all the Vikings had to throw to. So give me the Packers to win that game decisively and cover the 6.5. Give me the Bills minus 3.5. I can't believe it's this small of a line. After how bad the Patriots looked the last 2 weeks, how are they going to beat the Bills by this margin? Now, I know the Bills have been struggling lately, especially offensively, but minus 3.5 is way too generous. I'm taking that all day long. Chicago Bears plus 4.5. Okay, so I have them winning the game. And then you give me 4.5 points. The way the Bears play, mostly, again, Monday night was a disaster. They should be able to at least cover the spread. Seahawks minus 3. Yes, that's going to be a close game of the 49ers, but it's a good bet. That the minus 3's pick-em-ish, kind of like a pick-em line. And I feel comfortable taking the odds on that. And then Steelers plus 4, I think they win the game. I think they're going to go to Baltimore and win the game. And at the very least, you give me 4 points, and I'll take 4 points for a 6-0 team. Yeah, I think I'll take 4 points for a 6-0 team. So with that said, that's going to do it for my NFL Week 8 picks and predictions. What are your picks and predictions? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.